In all my hours of playing Ravenswatch, there have been two magical objects that I have almost completely neglected. The common little thumb pebbles I practically never take because I intend to avoid damage, and when I do take damage, I'll start to play safer, not move in to hit crits and risk death. The other one is the golden egg, 1 damage for each 40 dream shards in stock. Dream shards allow me to level up my talents and use wishing well for better magical objects. Why would I ever take one that prevents me from other upgrades? For me, an average amount of dream shards that I'll collect in the first chapter is close to 750, which would allow for a full use of the wishing well or upgrading some talents and buying consumables. Some quick math shows that 750 divided by 40 would give us 18.75. That's 18% more damage on all abilities for the sacrifice of talents or more well uses if you choose the golden egg. Not worth it to me personally. But recently I picked up Curse of the Dead Gods again, another game from Pastex Library. They have a relic in there called the Gleaming Sapphire, which gives you 6% damage per 1000 gold you carry, up to 10 times. And you can also hold multiple of this relic. I had a run where I got 3 of these at 6% and ended the run with 180% bonus damage, was nearly one-shotting every enemy in the game, barring bosses. If that relic can work so well in their other game, then maybe, just maybe, Golden Egg could go crazy here. Alright, let's test it. Now going into the testing, I had 4 things in mind to get the most out of Golden Egg. The first was actually getting Golden Egg, no doubt. But in my runs, I had 3 that after acquiring all magical objects available to me in the entire run, I never saw Golden Egg. But the other thing in my mind was that getting multiple copies of Golden Egg could potentially skyrocket my damage into insane numbers if set up right. The second thing in my mind about this run was Dream Shards. Also, no doubt. But this meant sometimes it might be worth it to stop and clear out a small group of enemies for a medium-sized Dream Shard crystal, and it also meant that I would take Dream Shards, not talent upgrades, from glimmers on the map. The third and most important thing besides Golden Egg was Hope Diamond. This is a cursed magical object that doubles the amount of Dream Shards you receive, but you lose them all if you die. This would be a huge factor in getting the most out of Golden Egg, but it could also potentially destroy the build immediately with a death, already seeming potentially hazardous. But with Hope Diamond, another thing to keep in mind was the order in which I took on camps, and to be honest, I wasn't the most efficient in my first runs. The most efficient way to play would be to save all the Dream Shard camps and Glimmer challenges until I got Hope Diamond, which meant that I would need to prioritize leveling up, finding a key, and getting a chance at a curse object. If I didn't get the curse object from the key boss, I would potentially need to spend 750 Dream Shards at the well for another chance to see Hope Diamond and potentially another Golden Egg. The fourth and final thing I was thinking about was a character that I could maximize my Dream Shards, and there was 2 in mind. Aladdin for a couple of reasons. The first being Jinnia's gift, which gives me more and more trait use in each chapter, resulting in more Dream Shards. It also has the bonus effect of giving future upgrades the chance to be a higher rarity, which could be helpful as I don't plan on spending Dream Shards to upgrade. Aladdin also has the talent Dream Scimitars, which gives you a chance to collect Dream Shards upon hitting an enemy while you have enchantment on your blades. The final reason for Aladdin is his talent Master Thief, which gives you a % chance to get a copy of a magical object upon choosing one. The rarer the talent, the less likely to get it. But if Master Thief procs upon choosing Golden Egg, it can make a huge difference. The other character that I tried out was Sun Wukong, because of his trait, Fiery Golden Eyes. This trait reveals 2 points of interest at the start of each day or night, but the most important thing is that this talent gives you 20% more Dream Shards at base and 35% if fully leveled up. The tough thing about this is you want Fiery Golden Eyes as early as possible. Level 2 at best, 3 is okay, and 4 is pushing it. With 17 talents, RNG was going to have to be on my side. If you've been watching the background gameplay, you've been seeing my first good run, and let's get into it. This was my first run, so my plan wasn't super efficient. I was getting shards as I saw them, and was mainly focusing on doing chests for Golden Egg. I also did the side quests as an attempt to get Atomic Tobacco, but unfortunately I didn't get it. Here you could see that I could have got Excalibur, and that's one of the things that makes Golden Egg tough. You can have so many things in a run that make spending your Dream Shards a lot more beneficial, so it makes it tough to commit to Golden Egg for damage. I do 2 chests back to back here, and you see that I didn't get Golden Egg. I was also okay with taking magical objects because I didn't have a magic mirror at the Sandman. I go north here and get lucky running into this key. I should have stopped what I was doing immediately and fought the key boss and tried to get Hope Diamond, but this was my first run, and since I wasn't as efficient here, I collected a Dream Shard camp and did a Glimmer camp for shards. My main reason for this was that I can go to a full wishing well as a backup if I didn't get Hope Diamond from the key boss, but my order should have been reversed here. Something I should mention is at the start of this run I got 2 silver bullets from Aladdin's trait charges because I didn't have the option of Whetstone or 4-leaf cloak. So currently I'll have to subtract 10 from whatever my final damage number is at the end of the run to see how beneficial Golden Egg was. And in this chest I do get Hope Diamond, so this run does have some potential of being pretty good going into the second chapter. Now looking at this damage phase, this build was already doing a lot without Golden Egg, and if I didn't mess up the controls on this magical carpet here, the boss would have been incredibly close to dying in one phase. Starting this next chapter, I don't need to hold back on Dream Shard collection as I have Hope Diamond and all that matters is getting Golden Egg and staying alive. As you can see, I was unlucky with my first 2 chests. But with the third, I finally see a Golden Egg and it brings my damage from 10% to 65%. It's not too bad.
Just what no bite.
I decided to do the key boss and get the option of Nightmare Thorn or Oni Mask, and I decided to go with Oni Mask to push that damage number higher, but keep in mind 30 of my 105 additional damage is not coming from Golden Egg. Going into the final boss, I have 108% additional damage, 78% of that coming from Golden Egg. The build works pretty well, and I get the boss down to about 50% before breaking his armor for damage and basically kill him in one stun. But 2 things bother me here. If I were to die to this boss, a huge percent of my damage would instantly vanish, and I can't help but thinking that taking Excalibur early on with all these talents upgraded and more crit chance and crit damage from Aladdin's other ultimate, if I were able to spend my shards, could be just as good if not better damage. But at the end of the run, I hit in the 170,000 range, which I would say is pretty good damage. This next run really hurt me because I had a really hype series of events, but I realized a bit too late that I wasn't recording. And I wasn't recording because my previous 3 runs either didn't have Hope Diamond or Golden Egg never showed up. So I decided to wait until something happened to record, but I got a bit lost in this run. So what's going on in this run? Well, why don't we just zoom in on this 169% more damage and the 2092 Dream Shards I have. What's happening? Well, over here you can see that I got Genia's Gift at Epic for a starter, which really helped with the rarity of other talents, but mainly Master Thief at Rare. Moving up, you can see some buffs like Ogre's Blood and 2 Ace of Spades, but what about the 3 Golden Eggs, Tommy Tobacco, and Hope Diamond? Originally, I had 1 Golden Egg and no Hope Diamond and thought the run was just going to die. In the second chapter, I had 1 more chest left and I got dash cooldown on it. Then I leveled up and I got Master Thief, giving me the potential to get 2 magical items when picking one. Because of this, I knew I had to do the Wishing Well, but first I had to go do the side quest. The reason for doing the side quest was for a shot at the legendary Tommy Tobacco, giving me 1 more choice of magical object when picking. After doing this, I hit the well, and in my first pull I saw Golden Egg and had Master Thief proc, stealing me 2 eggs. It was risky, but I took a chance on full well and got really lucky seeing Hope Diamond as my 4th choice. And now I'm set up with Hope Diamond, 3 Golden Eggs, and a whole bunch of shards to collect. Alright, and now you're caught up as I spend the last seconds of this running the map for more Dream Shards. I enter the boss fight with 191% extra damage and think that this is just going to be an insane boss melt. I don't play this perfectly, and I'm trying to maximize damage on the boss by making him vulnerable before hitting him with Sword Djinn, but it still feels fairly similar to the last run I had. See, the issue that I'm feeling here is that I'm investing my whole build into seeing Hope Diamond and getting Golden Egg, meaning that if I die, my build is essentially gone. And I'm thinking that this high risk should be rewarded, and yes it is, with 191% extra damage. This was a pretty lucky run. But it's tough when that risk feels just as similar as other runs where you play it safer and just play normal. In all my runs with Golden Egg, I never felt like I reached an overpowered level with the amount of damage I had. But again, in this run, I hit a high 170,000 for damage, so still not bad. This next run I switch it up with Sun Wukong, hoping to see Fiery Golden Eyes by level 3. I tried 4 different games just to see if I can get it by level 3 and resetting if I didn't, and in all 4, Fiery Golden Eyes never appeared, so I just decided to continue this 4th run. Here you can see that I had to use all 3 wishes from the well, but I do have 1 golden egg and Hope Diamond, so there is potential. I do 3 chests and a full well and don't see another golden egg, but I do receive Bloody Mary's Mirror, turning my 10 armor into 10 damage, and I have Goldilocks Porridge giving me additional 20 damage if I'm at full health. Going into the boss, I'm sitting only at 44% bonus damage, but 10 of that is coming from another magical object. I forego using my ultimate on the boss's stagger the first time around just to see how much damage I can do with Sun Wukong on his own, but I decided to use it on my next stagger, and Beowulf does a hefty chunk. At the end of this run, my damage is slightly higher, sitting at 177,000. That's still a good damage number, but a lot of Wukong's talents have pretty big impacts the more they're upgraded, and I think in this run in particular, the Dream Shards could have just gone a lot further invested in his talents. Alright, this is the last run I have to show, and I get lucky with not 1, but 2 golden eggs in the first chapter. I had no magic mirror in this first chapter, so I still take some other magical objects. I was getting nervous because I did a lot of key searching and it was taking a long time to find one. I had left all the dream shards and glimmers on the map and desperately wanted to find a Hope Diamond before doing them, but I also didn't want time to run out and all of them to go to waste. I actually do die here, so maybe not having Hope Diamond yet was a blessing. I fight this boss and get unlucky with no Hope Diamond, but I do get Tommy Tobacco, which will help in the future. I have 3 minutes left, and after doing some more key searching, I decide to skip it and go for the 2 shard camps and the 2 glimmers to get all the shards I can. Now, going into the boss fight, I have 58% extra damage. It was a little confusing to me at first because I have 1,187 dream shards, which divided by 40 gets me 29.675. Then I multiply that by 2 for the 2 golden eggs, and it gives me 59.35. But I guess Ravenswatch drops the numbers after the decimal point, so it gives me 29 times 2, giving me 58% damage. Yeah, and currently this damage isn't great, so it takes me 3 stagger cycles to beat this boss. I could have been more efficient with my play and timing my abilities, but I'm hopeful to see some big numbers in the second chapter. You can see here in chapter 2 I skip a lot on the map and I just go straight here to fight the key boss, and I'm looking for my Hope Diamond. Unfortunately, even with Tommy Tobacco, I don't see it. I check this chest and I don't get another golden egg, so I move on to Wishing Well for my last shot at Hope Diamond. Here, I actually don't mean to take this Ace of Spades. I wanted to go back to Sandman and use Magic Mirror to hopefully get another golden egg, but it actually duplicates Vadra's anyway, so it doesn't matter. Here I do have Master Thief proc on an epic, which is the first time I've seen that happen. And then finally, Tommy Tobacco comes in clutch, and I get my Hope Diamond as the 4th option. Having got that Master Thief proc on a Raven's Eye, I think Aladdin deserves his carpet ride. My last 2 chests show no luck finding any golden eggs. Going into this boss, I have 142% bonus damage. If I had seen 1 more golden egg, that number would have broke 200, which would have been insane to see. One thing that's been fun in these runs is the second boss, I get to take the carpet ride and just one-shot all the eyeballs. So as this fight plays out, here are my thoughts on golden egg and when I would use it. Would I ever intentionally structure my run and build for it like I did in this video? No, it is way too dependent on RNG, getting golden egg, finding keys, getting Hope Diamond, and not dying. But if I did have a run where I got Hope Diamond early on in the first chapter and found a golden egg soon after, then yeah, I might take it. I probably wouldn't be too frugal with my dream shards though, and would just understand that golden eggs benefit would fluctuate throughout my run. Another example would be is if you're close to the end of your run and you get a chest with King of Clubs, Ace of Spades, and golden egg. And let's say you have 400 dream shards. There, it's probably worth taking the 10% overall damage from golden egg over the 20% to attack or power, depending on your build. But the best build I had while focusing on maximizing golden egg felt just as strong as any other build that isn't as RNG restrictive. But who knows, a new update and a new chapter in just a few days might make all my time here completely worthless. Thanks, golden egg.